Hey guys, we're starting our Zentangles today, and I'm really excited about showing this to you. I think you're really going to love it. I'm starting off with my paper. I've got a pencil, an artist pen. Now this artist pen looks very different from the ones you have. It's essentially the same thing. It's got the same tip, but it's just what I have on hand right now. And I've got my Sharpie marker. What you do today might look very different from what I do, and that is fine. As long as we're just kind of practicing and going together, that is absolutely fine. I'm starting off with a big leaf shape. Now you're going to be doing this in your folder. If you position yours elsewhere on your page, that is absolutely fine. I'm going to go with a zigzag pattern on my leaf. Now by the way guys, Zentangle is a form of doodling, which is a whole lot of fun, and it is very therapeutic. Actually, a lot of art therapists use this kind of thing to help relax people. So I've got my zigzag going. I'm going to put 4 lines within each zigzag. You perfectionists are going to ask for a ruler, and no, you may not have one. So there's 4 lines within that first zigzag. Do 4 lines in my second one. These do not need to be perfect. And you can see my lines are not perfect. So I've got my 4 right there. Now I'm going with my 4. Now I'm going to leave it right there. For time's sake, I'm going to skip over to my Sharpie. Now if I were just doing this in the classroom and had a little bit more time, I would probably just stick with that artist pen. But the Sharpie is nice for filling in larger spaces, and since I've maybe just barely drawn this leaf big enough, I could go ahead and start to fill in with my Sharpie. Now what I'm doing is I am just alternating coloring in and leaving blank. So all my little small triangles I've created by doing all those lines, I'm coloring them in and leaving them blank. So I'm alternating, so color in blank, or black, white, black, white. So now I've got this one. So now I've got that completed. I could go in at the ends. I could fill in those ends and make them all dark if I wanted to. I could leave them like that, or I could even go in. I might add 4 more little lines right there, just like I did in the beginning. I might add 1 more right there. Now I could fill those in, or I could leave those blank. I'm seeing a little space right there. I want to go in and fill in. Whoop. And there we go. Another thing I could do is shading technique. Now the shading is kind of, I look at it kind of like a little dessert at the end. It's a fun process. You don't have to do it, but it does add a lot to it. You can see that sometimes at some of the little points, it looks a little bit shaded anyways. But with my pencil, this is actually just a regular HB pencil, just like your number 2 pencil. It just looks a little different. Again, it's just what I have on hand. But using the side of that pencil, I can kind of come in and start to shade in just a tiny bit. So you can see I'm putting some pressure down at that point and lifting up. And I'm just going at the points of each of these triangles. It's not right or wrong, guys. This is just something I'm playing with. With Zentangle, there's not much right or wrong. You're just figuring out your own thing, going with it. So there we go. So you can see a little bit of a shaded pattern kind of going back and forth. Next thing, I'm going to go ahead I am just going to draw a little box. Somewhere on my paper, doesn't matter where. I didn't even make it a perfect box or a perfect square. I'm adding a little wavy line right there. Right next to it, I'm going to add a parallel wavy line. Think of this like a ribbon. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it a ribbon. Or you can think of it kind of like a pipe that's curved. So notice I'm going in 2 counts. So each one of them looks like a solid form going up. Or a solid shape going up, I should say. And I could even do another one kind of peeking in a little bit right there. That's that. So easy peasy. So I've got, well, kind of 3.5 ribbons or pipes or whatever you want to think of them going up. Now I'm going to go through and I'm adding little bands around each of them. Now notice each of my little bands kind of looks like a slight curve or smiley face. By adding that little slight curve, I'm making it look like it's wrapping around a bit more. In other words, it's not just straight across and flat. I'm trying to turn these little ribbons or pipes into something that looks at least 3-dimensional. Just for fun, this is not right or wrong, and if you wanted to do something different in the bands, you certainly could. I'm just adding a little oval. I think I'm going to make it look kind of like a little eyeball. Again, not right or wrong. You could put something else in there if you want. Within each one of these little curved lines, I am going to add some slightly curved parallel lines that are going along with the flow of each of these little pipes or ribbons. There we go. Like that one. Now, let's see. I might go in and fill in each of these little ovals in the middle. Again, not right or wrong. I'm just going with it. The nice thing about Zentangle is there's really no rhyme or reason to what you should fill in or what you shouldn't fill in. And today's just experimenting. You might find some things that you really like today. You might find some things you really wish you didn't do today, and that's all good. Now, darkening in, I might take my Sharpie marker and I might go ahead and start to fill in the background. I just want to see what that looks like. So notice I've filled in, and just alternated. So I filled in with my black Sharpie right here, left that white, filled with the black Sharpie right there. I could leave that as is. I could even get my pencil . Okay, so now I filled that in, and I'm pretty happy with it. There's some things I wish I would have done a little bit differently. I think I wish I would have added a couple more of those little ribbons or bands going up, and spread it out a little bit more. Now, if I like that, I could keep it like that. If I think that I might want to darken in all of the areas with Sharpie, I certainly could. I'm going to leave it like that for now, but of course I could certainly go over that area with Sharpie. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video now and start a new one in just a minute.